It is indeed. Ainsley, come on over here and sit down on the couch because we start the 8 a.m. Eastern Time hour of Fox and Friends with this. Today marks officially 6 weeks until the all-important Iowa caucuses.
So the two Republican frontrunners are trading shots on the campaign trail while Democrats go all in on President Joe Biden in Florida.
Peter Doocy is live this morning at the White House. Peter, enjoy your Christmas because next year is going to be busy.
Yeah, and we've got, as a beginning of December treat, the latest example of Republican rivals waiting a very, very long time to try to dent Trump's standing atop the primary polls. Ron DeSantis is now zeroing in on something that Trump said in June when Trump said to voters, "I am your retribution." Now DeSantis is saying that's not a good reason to run for president, to advance personal interests over the people's. And at the moment, Trump has a commanding lead in the Real Clear Politics average of polls. He's got 61+%. DeSantis all the way down at 13.9. Haley has 10.2. Then on the Democratic side, the party is kind of having a primary in name only. President Biden did not succeed in putting South Carolina's primary ahead of New Hampshire, so he's not even going to be on the ballot in New Hampshire. But at this point, it doesn't really seem like it's going to matter much, as state parties elsewhere, like Florida, are printing ballots without every candidate's names on them. Dean Phillips, Democrat left off the Florida ballot, says Americans would expect the absence of democracy in Tehran, not Tallahassee. The intentional disenfranchisement of voters runs counter to everything for which our Democratic Party and country stand. President Biden doesn't campaign much at all, aside from some closed-door fundraisers, and yet, at this point, he sees the primary process as a punchline, making this crack last night about the entertainer Billy Crystal.
And he promised me he's not going to primary me. He could win.
And Democrats are insisting that if President Biden had some kind of a problem between now and the election, there is no plan B. But in an absolute emergency scenario, they are comfortable with Kamala Harris, rolling the dice with Kamala Harris atop the ticket. Back to you.
Well, that's a headline. Peter, I was reading this morning in some of the political press about how the term Bidenomics, I know the White House is always doing a Bidenomics thing, is just a non-starter for Democrats. Democrats got together over in the House and they said, and the Senate, and they said, we don't like that term because it doesn't mean anything. Instead, we're going to use the term people over politics. So the White House is still going with Bidenomics, right? And I know last week, Ed O'Keefe, the guy who sits next to you from CBS, asked about, essentially the president is underwater on polling. Is somebody going to get fired over this?
This is a president who doesn't really fire anybody ever. And you look at the continuity since the beginning, he's got basically a fully intact cabinet from the first day. So if there are big problems, he does not really ever seek to change it with personnel. And as for House Democrats abandoning the Bidenomics term, part of this new reporting is that the candidates, who are all going to be on ballots themselves, don't want to necessarily link policies to a president, Joe Biden, whose approval ratings are underwater. And again, when they talk about inflation, they know that it's a big problem. They talk about it not being as bad, but prices are still rising. They're just not rising as much as they were last year and the year before. So people are not feeling it. And, they get a fair amount of questions here about the polls, right, and they'll say stuff like, well, the only poll that matters is on Election Day. On Election Day, people are going to have a chance to cast ballots based on how they are feeling. And if by then they are not feeling better about the economy, that is a real liability here.
Yeah. Because, Peter, what do we talk about after you go grocery shopping with your wife, Hillary? What do we talk about?
I can't believe how expensive eggs are, and a turkey.
That's right. It's all true.
Like the rotisserie chicken.
And all Americans are feeling the same thing.
Thank you. I think he doesn't want to be associated with the word Bidenomics because that means economics. And everyone we interview says this is the #1 issue affecting their family. They can't afford certain things.
It's big. All right, Peter, thank you very much.
All right, now to a Fox News alert. The U.S. launching a drone strike in northern Iraq, killing 5 Iranian proxy fighters in retaliation for the 75 attacks on U.S. forces in the region over the past 2 months.
Meanwhile, overnight, the IDF taken out at least 200 Hamas targets in Gaza.
Trey Yingst is live in southern Israel, where he's been all day long. And seconds ago, you got the helmet on. You were taking incoming fire, right, Trey?
Yeah, guys, we just ran for cover about a minute ago as there was incoming fire here along the Israel-Gaza border. I'm going to have my cameraman pan up to the sky here. You'll be able to see some small clouds of white smoke. That is where the interceptions took place, nearly right overhead. It's unclear if these were mortars or small rockets, but they came from the northern part of the Gaza Strip, and it's remarkable given the amount of fire, and you hear some of it there, incoming, that's still taking place at this time. I do want to have also my cameraman pan down here to the Gaza skyline. You can see some of the smoke rising up with that outgoing artillery in the background there. The Israelis still putting pressure on this Bet Hanun neighborhood in northern Gaza. Nearly 60 days into the war, there are still Hamas fighters holed up in buildings here. Now, the Israelis say overnight they hit 200 different targets inside Gaza, bringing the total number since the war began to more than 10,000. The heavy air campaign spiking the death toll inside Gaza. Authorities at the Hamas-controlled health ministry say more than 700 people were killed in a 24-hour period over the weekend. The Israelis still going after leadership from Hamas, targeting the commander of the Shati battalion in an airstrike. Also over the weekend, they killed Wissam Farhat, the commander of Hamas's Sajaiya battalion. Farhat responsible for the deaths of 7 soldiers during the 2014 war and partially responsible for planning the October 7th massacre. Israel is expanding their ground operation toward Gaza's second largest city of Khan Younis. The developments on the ground here do come as regional threats continue to expand. Yesterday, 3 commercial vessels in the Red Sea were attacked by Iran-backed Houthi rebels. The USS Carney shot down 3 drones that were in its area, highlighting the role the American forces in the region are playing. Back in October, that same guided missile destroyer shot down a salvo of missiles and drones headed toward Israel. It's not just the region and the southern front that remain active. The Lebanese militant group Hezbollah along the northern front also firing into the Jewish state earlier today. Guys?
You know, Trey, we talk about this war and we talk about the targets that Israel is targeting, and they're targeting the Hamas terrorists. They may use civilians as cover, but that's the intended target. Do you know, because you just experienced an interception from Israel from the strip of them firing at Israel, do we know the intended target of that?
So Hamas and Islamic Jihad don't have any precision-guided missiles, and so they are simply firing into southern and central Israel, and they don't have the ability to target specific locations. And we're just looking up here. There may be some more fire in the distance, but they are just firing into the communities along the border and also as far as Tel Aviv, as we saw yesterday. There were sirens sounding in central Israel today. In terms of what's getting hit, just yesterday in this southern community, we went to a synagogue that took a direct impact. There was a house nearby that was hit by shrapnel, cars destroyed. It's a variety of different things. The missile defense system, the Iron Dome, is quite accurate. During this conflict, anywhere between 85 and 95% of the fire coming from Gaza has been intercepted. But oftentimes they're firing so often at different angles that it's slipping by the Iron Dome and slamming into communities here in southern and also in central Israel. And so it's a mixed bag of what's actually getting hit. As for the Israeli targets inside Gaza, they say they are going after Hamas leadership, but the civilian death toll in the Strip certainly ticking up as well as they continue to do that.
Hey, Trey, are Israel and Hamas, are they close to reaching a deal for another ceasefire so that more hostages are released?
They are not. I spoke with regional sources over the weekend that are directly familiar with the negotiations, and they said there was an Israeli Mossad team in Doha, Qatar on Saturday, and the Qataris were trying to get another deal together to revamp the ceasefire that stopped on Friday morning after Hamas fired rockets into Israel. Well, that Mossad team was actually recalled back to Israel by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the director of the Mossad after the conversations collapsed. Now, this regional source did want to make clear that just because the Israelis aren't in Doha anymore doesn't mean the negotiations can't continue. But Hamas also saying over the weekend they are unwilling to cut any sort of further deal in exchange hostages for prisoners until the war inside Gaza ends. And so far, the Israelis say they are not willing to end this operation, and it will not last days or weeks, but rather months.
The hostages are their best leverage. Trey, thank you very much. Stay safe over there. All right.
Great job, Trey.
You know, his concentration is perfect. He's looking right at the camera, but he hears something, shh, and he looks over.
He's so brave.
It's got to be terrifying.
He's been in so many war zones for years.
I know. Can you imagine?
All right, 8:11 now. Carly joins us with some terrible news overnight from New York City.
I certainly do. 2 NYPD officers, guys, are out of the hospital, thankfully, after they were stabbed while responding to a deadly rampage in Queens yesterday. Police say the suspect stabbed and killed 4 of his family members, including 2 children, before attacking the officers. The suspect also set off a minor fire in the home before an officer shot and killed him. No word yet on a motive or the names of the victims. Horrific situation, Steve, as you said. Take a look at this. Video shows a group of what appears to be hundreds of migrants riding on top of a train. That train headed for from central Mexico to a border city across from Eagle Pass, Texas. Meanwhile, the border crisis is so out of control. Overnight, CBP suspended operations at a border crossing in Lukeville, Arizona, in the Tucson sector. Officials say it's to free up agents to deal with an increased number of migrant encounters. And Democrat Texas Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee releasing a new TV ad for her campaign in Houston's mayoral race, urging her supporters to vote. One problem, though, she gave them the wrong day. Say it ain't so. Lee told voters in the ad to show up and vote before December 7th, but the election actually takes place on December 9th. She faces Democrat State Senator John Whitmire in the race. So that race will be held on December 9th, not December 7th. Calling all cookie lovers. Oh boy, today is National Cookie Day, and Subway is offering the perfect way to celebrate. Some Subway restaurants will offer a foot-long chocolate chip cookie for free today before it becomes part of the restaurant's permanent menu next year. And I have some on set for all of us to try, guys.
How are they?
Here.
Have you tasted them?
Well, I
yet?
haven't, and I woke up this morning saying, I'm going to eat healthy today.
Let me help you with that.
And thank you so much. And now I have 5 giant cookies in front of me, and that dream is now out the window.
There we go.
Look at the size of that. That is literally.
I know. There's just
That is
something
a
about a
foot long.
cookie that's
Did we
shaped
all
like a
have to
Subway
get our own
sandwich that just makes
individual?
it so
I'ma share
special.
Yeah,
yours,
share with
Angela.
me. Let's see.
Let's see.
Oh, it's delicious.
That is a good cookie.
It tastes like a cookie cake. You know
That's
those
good.
big cookie cakes? That's exactly what
And
this
they're
tastes like.
thick. I like them because they're thick. Sometimes
That's good.
in the
Thank
commercial
you,
they
Rachel
look
and
really thick,
producers.
and then you
Yeah.
get them and they're thin.
The whole green room smells like it, too.
Can you go into Subway and get the cookie without the sandwich?
Imagine putting it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah.
This is. I thought they were about healthy eating. That's crazy. All right, coming
It's
up.
cookie day.
Yeah, it's cookie day.
Cheers, everybody.
Coming up.
We need a giant thing of milk.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.